A federal judge in Washington refused today to block Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency from accessing government data. The judge said states suing Musk and DOGE had failed to demonstrate, quote, clear evidence of imminent irreparable harm.
Musk and President Trump say DOGE's mission is to root out fraud, waste, and abuse. And the White House claims DOGE has uncovered fraud, at least as the administration defines it. Here's Weijia Jiang.
This is what White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt pointed to as proof when asked about the fraud that Elon Musk's team claims to have uncovered.
This is a DEI contract, $36,000 for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. This is a $3.4 million contract, a Council for Inclusive Innovation at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Oh, I love this one, $57,000 for climate change in Sri Lanka.
When pressed if those are simply things that don't align with President Trump's policies, Leavitt said,
I would argue that all of these things are fraudulent, they are wasteful, and they are an abuse of the American taxpayer's dollar.
Last night, DOGE posted on its website what it called a wall of receipts to show its findings to date. So far, it has identified roughly $14 billion worth of federal program cuts, including at least 140 DEI contracts and grants. But all the money allocated was approved by Congress, and DOGE did not provide evidence of a single case of fraud or even alleged fraud.
President Trump and the White House keep conflating fraud, waste, and abuse. Does the distinction matter?
It does matter, and frankly, both sides are using terminology that's inaccurate and confusing the public.
Dave Walker led the Government Accountability Office for a decade, the congressional nonpartisan watchdog that investigates how taxpayer dollars are spent.
Most of the things that have been identified so far by DOGE represent waste and mismanagement, although waste is in the eye of the beholder. Very few things that they're talking about have risen to the level of being fraud. Fraud is illegal. On the other side, people who oppose DOGE are also using language that's inappropriate, saying that what they're doing is illegal or unconstitutional without providing any support for that.
Last week, President Trump cited a GAO report which found the U.S. government could lose between $233 and $521 billion a year to fraud. But that data was collected from 2018 to 2022, when fraudulent COVID payments soared.
How long does it take to find fraud? Can you find billions and billions of dollars in 1 month?
It would be difficult to find billions and billions of dollars in 1 month because you have to make a legal determination, which ultimately the courts decide. You can assert that something is fraud, but that doesn't mean that it is. It's ultimately a legal judgment.
CBS News has repeatedly asked the White House for examples of the fraud it claims DOGE has found. Officials referred us back to DOGE's website and social media accounts, and they did not make anyone available for an interview.
So, Weijia, why is this distinction important between what's merely waste and what is actually fraudulent?
Well, Dave Walker worries that repeating fraud claims undercuts trust in the government by the public, and critics are concerned that by alleging so much of it, Trump and his team have a license to take drastic measures at a breakneck pace without the proper oversight and transparency, which leaves room for error. Just tonight, the Department of Agriculture is scrambling to rehire staffers who are working on the response to the bird flu outbreak after they were accidentally fired.